But then I had to quit running for a little while. I had this like heart procedure done. And then afterwards...
Well, I want to talk about that because we all have the same...
Yeah,
you have it?
No, yeah, huh?
Yeah.
You have Wolf Parkinson's?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
And I had a heart procedure for it, yeah.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
ablation.
He had it more
Ablation,
serious.
Yeah.
So, like, you and me, you know, it can trigger a spike up to, what would you say, like 140, 180
I
sometimes?
never looked.
Okay,
I
but
never
anyway.
wear a heart
Mine would go
monitor.
like
Yeah.
270.
It's
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
But his would go
like
up.
you would almost get like
Yeah,
Like, I would-
one,
I would
he was a
pass
lot
out sometimes,
younger.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'll let him tell. I don't need to speak for him, but I know.
telling me about his shit.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
All right,
Tom.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
go
guys.
ahead. Go ahead, tell us serious yours was.
And then we can talk about powerlifting after.
Yeah.
But no, and I was like, it's like growing up, like I had after running, I'd play like a soccer match, and then I'd get off the field, and my heartbeat would be like crazy high, and my parents would always be like, "Oh, you know, you didn't cool down.
Yeah.
You know, you're just sprinting, you're just running. You just need to, you know, go do some laps, cool down, walk it off." But then as I got older, when I was like 16, like end of high school, 16, 17, it would just be random. It wasn't even exercise induced.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, I was just talking. I remember I was talking to like my parents one time, just like in my living room, and my heartbeat, which was like pretty low because I was a runner, would just go up to like you could feel like switch, where it just goes up to like 200 plus basically.
Now,
for doing
when you
nothing.
spotted this, obviously you can feel it's freaking up, but did you ever start to wear like a Fitbit or something to where you could
Yes,
actually,
yeah.
statistically know? Yeah.
So at the time I was running a lot, and I had a Garmin Forerunner, the watch.
Yeah.
And then that one would, you know, it tracks a lot of stuff. Tracks your heartbeat is one of them. Basically, it's like an expensive Fitbit.
Yeah.
And I was wearing that, and then that's when I noticed one time I was wearing it, and I had like a spike in my heart rate, and then I turned it on to like record it, and then I realized it was over 200, and I was like, all right, this
Dude,
is
that's cranking, man.
dude. It
Like
would
you
be wild.
had to feel that thing like
You could see it through my
boom.
chest.
Yeah.
like freaking out. So then that was like the end of high school. I was like 17, 18. We realized something was wrong, so I went to like a cardiologist, electrophysiologist, and got it checked out. But the problem is,
You have to have it while
exactly,
they check. Yeah.
you have to be having the heart, episode while they're looking for it. Otherwise, you seem normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did all these, EKGs and tests and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, you're fine," and I was like, "My heartbeat is freaking out." Yeah. So what we did, they suspected it was SVT, which is supraventricular tachycardia, just like a fast heartbeat. So they had me wear this little like, it was almost like a Fitbit strapped to my chest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And it was just like a little box that would like adhesive to my chest, and I wear that for like 2 weeks, I think. And whenever I had an episode of a fast, a high heartbeat, I would just press a little button and it would mark it in the recording. And then we sent it off to a lab, and they were like, yeah, something's not right here. And then we realized that I had like an extra electrical pathway, basically, in the heart. So got the procedure done. I went up to Bethesda, Maryland, and we did an ablation where they went through like my wrist and my groin, and then they threaded a needle up to my heart and like poked a hole into my heart wall, and then just ablated or like burned off, I guess, the bad cells. Yeah.
Were you nervous for that?
Oh, dude, I thought I was gonna die.
Well, so another one of our old guests, Rachel Nicely, I posted the other day about still dealing with, Wolf Parkinson's syndrome or whatever, and she was like, "Bro, go get that shit fixed," and I was like, and she told me she had the same procedure done, which I think it's funny that like probably more people have it than you realize.
Yeah, it seems pretty regular. Kind of common.
Yeah,
You guys are the only people I've ever heard of. Like, I tell this
I
to
know.
people, and they're like, it blows their mind.
yeah.
But
Well, everyone thinks it's like, oh, you just have a high heart rate or tachycardia, and you're like, it's a little different. It's not really exercise induced.
No.
It's not something I'm doing. It's not really caffeine related.
Mine happens more so when
Often.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything.
yeah, that's what I
same.
realized.
Yeah.
I just feel like talking like to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing with getting it done was I was like, mine wasn't nearly as severe as you described yours. And then even she was telling me, or she said, like hers used to knock her out for the day because she'd just be like lightheaded and whatever, and dizzy. I don't have any of those symptoms. I know, like you talked to, you don't really have them too much either.
Yeah. My episodes don't last long.
No.
I only had like one or two where I was like, fuck, let me go to the ER.
Yeah.
But other than that, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, they're
Yeah.
in and out.
Mine would be like, sometimes it'd be like a minute or two, and sometimes it'd be like half an hour. And then when it's longer than like 10 minutes, like your heartbeat is beating so fast you can't get oxygen or blood anywhere, and then you just feel lightheaded and you feel like you're about to pass out. And then I was like, oh shit, like gotta go get this checked out, like for real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because if I'm not exercising, it's like a minute or two at the most. Sometimes I can fix it with one like deep breath. I'm good. But when I'm exercising, then it triggers. Like I've had it obviously during like the marathon or whatever. But other times when I'm just like rolling back with dumbbells, and to do a press, and I'll feel it, and I'm like, oh fuck, and then it just sustains during the whole workout. And I still think it's interesting that like, because I've had it for like over like half an hour. Obviously for the marathon, I had it for like kind of like 2 hours. But I guess because my heart rate doesn't get as high, like for example, if I'm lifting, even with that triggered, let's say I'm like normally like 100 beats per minute, I'll go to like to 150, but it's not still high enough to, I guess, get me to the point where I'm not getting oxygen. But yeah, it's one of the scary things. But I've just been trying to spot where I can decrease the likeliness of the episodes happening or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of my clients, she mentioned like SVT and different like was it vagus valgus maneuvers that you can do, vagal whatever that you can do to try and like calm it down. But yeah, that's one of those things that's like it's like frustrating to have, but then you're like, I don't want to. A, I'm nervous to get a heart surgery, and two, it's expensive. Like, especially now you get off your parents' insurance and this and that. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, because I had an opportunity. I found out mine. I grew up with it, similar to you. I just thought it was like normal or like something that just happens. Or I'd have these little. Mine were always short. They were 10, 15 seconds long, and they just go away. So like, oh fuck, it's just normal. I guess everybody feels this. I never brought it up to anybody, and then I got in a wreck in 2010, and when I was in the hospital for the months that I was there, they noticed on the EKG that I was just strapped up to all the time. Like, hey, you see a abnormal rhythm that you have going on. Go get it checked out once you get out of the hospital. Got it checked out, and they were like, yeah, you got Wolff Parkinson's White. Let's do the ablation. I was like, nah. And they were like, yeah, I mean, you can live with it. You can either take medicine for life and just get it to your episodes to go down probably, or, get the ablation done. I was like, I was 24, 25, I think, and I was like, no, I don't feel like doing it right now. And then I ended up losing my insurance because I got off my parents, and I was like, fuck. Just would have wrote it out. But now that I'm back on insurance, if my episode, the thing is, you don't want to like wait until it gets bad and then go do it, but my episodes never really get bad, so I just don't feel like I want to take the time. It's probably like, a week downtime, maybe?
For after the surgery?
Yeah.
It's like, you're like 2 days where you're just sort of like laying there and you're just, can't really do anything. But then it's like a month where you can't lift more than 10 pounds.
Okay.
Because they thread a needle through an artery. Yeah. And so the worry is you have to be on baby aspirin. They're worried that if you lift something heavy, the pressure
blow it out.
Yeah, blow it out or collapse the veins. So the downtime's like, it's like a month, but then after that, you're good as new. I haven't had any episodes since then.
That feels crazy, right?
Dude, there's a time, so this is like the only surgery that I've had where I was like other than like wisdom teeth,
Yeah.
But the only surgery that I had where, and my cardiologist, he's like, hey, there's like a 99.999 success rate. Like if it doesn't work, we'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Because that's really just what it is. He's like, don't worry, I've never had any problems. But then you're laying on the hospital like bed before they cart you out and like get anesthesia, and I was like, I'm not waking up from this.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
That's what they said. What kind of me? They were like, hey, our success rate is very good.
Yeah.
And usually it knocks it out first try. They were like, there is a chance, we have to state it that, there is this minute, like, chance that, you just don't make it.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, I guess they maybe burn something or fuck something
mess
up.
with your heart. It's like,
and what they do is, and I don't know if they mentioned this to you, at least mine mentioned it to me. They were like, we put you into an episode to find that nerve.
Yeah.
So, like, they stimulate your heart some particular way, shock it, whatever, to, like, get it to start freaking out to we can pinpoint where the nerve is.
Yeah. They did that to me at the end. So basically, I was like, they wheel you out, right, and then I'm knocked out. And I have like I have little dots on my wrist here, but they thread these needles through, burn it off, and then at the end, they shocked me to like with almost like a defibrillator.
Yeah.
And I remember my cardiologist came in at the end when I woke up, and he's like, hey, buddy, he's like, you might feel a little weird. He's like, it was great, it was a success, but at the end, I shocked you to make sure it worked, and your heart went up to 300, but then it went back down, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Everything worked.
Damn.
And then I like threw up after I was awake.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's just the anesthesia or maybe some of the other drugs they give you. I definitely get like a little fucked up after a surgery. I usually try and let them know so they can give you something to like combat nausea, but usually I'm a little tore up for like the first few hours after that.
Yeah, I think you're coming out of anesthesia.
Yeah.
It's like your body's like waking up for
What
the first
the
time again.
fuck?
Yeah.
It's like being super, I guess, wasted maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, if it made you laugh, if it gave you some type of entertainment or value, made you think, make sure to check out the full-length episode on Spotify or iTunes at The All or Nothing Show or on The All or Nothing Show YouTube channel. Subscribe and let us know what you think.